Hello, I'm Tina Howell, an MLIS student from the University of Denver. In my information architecture class taught by Alex Martinez, we were tasked with taking an information architecture approach to the Triple Bypass website and to offer suggestions on how to improve their current website. A big thanks to my team members, Chris Coughlin and Grant Outerbridge. We also received some great input from Alex Martinez and Jenny Anderson. I think the diagram from the book Information Architecture for the World Wide Web by Louis Rosenfield and Peter Morville best describes information architecture. It is a part of all three worlds, the content, context, and users of a website. Many times websites are put together with the content that the provider wants to get out, and they are not designed with the user in mind and what the user wants from a website. Why would you use information architecture for the Triple Bypass website? The current website is a collection of static pages. The information rarely changes. The site is separated on two different URLs so that you can get lost and not find your way to pertinent information. There are several items a ride should include, and the Triple Bypass should adopt the same formats to make it a simple user experience for the riders registering. And last, the information that can be gathered from a well-defined site can improve future registration for the Triple Bypass team. While navigating the current Triple Bypass website, a user can get passed back and forth between Team Evergreen and triplebypass.org. This is confusing and not only creates confusion for the user but demonstrates that there is not a good flow to the site. When you first look at the registration, I clicked on registration here. There's a great deal of information, pages and pages. Unfortunately, there's not a spot to register. So if you go back to the home page and look a little further, there's a registration link here. This again takes you to the triplebypass.org site, but at first glance, there's still nowhere to register. After we scroll down some, we find a link to click to register here. There's also, when you look at course maps, you'd expect to find maps here, and there are many links to maps, but it's very difficult to decipher which ones you should go to. After working with this website for some time, we went on to some research of other sites. This is the process we followed. First, we analyzed context, content, and users. We defined business goals. We looked at the characteristics of a cycling community and other sites. We looked at the Triple Bypass site content versus user expectations. And as user expectations, we used surveys and interviews of past riders. We created a site map to designate what are the important things we needed on a website. We created a workflow and followed the registration process from start to finish. And we created a wireframe, which is a mock-up of how we think the website should look. The key concerns that we have are to increase the number of cyclists that register for the Triple Bypass by 25%. Next is to provide information to potential cyclists interested in riding the Triple Bypass. We want to encourage cyclists to sign up and register for the Triple Bypass. We want to increase return riders by 30%. We'd like to reduce rider inquiries through email and phone calls by 30% as a result of improved website content. And last, we'd like to establish a robust social media presence through the use of rider stories and promotional video contests on the website that can be shared via Facebook and Twitter. After interviews with the riders and stakeholders, we found out a couple things. First of all, the site is too wordy. Next, there's not a good flow. It's hard to find things. So we went to these three sites for guidance. The first one, the Elephant Rock Ride. We modeled our navigation bar after this one. It's simple, it's clean. We love that the registration is easy to find. We also liked the support our sponsors carousel at the bottom. And then let's go to the next one. The Ride the Rockies site. We designed our rider info tab from the same information here. And if you click on rider area, it gives you some stories about riders. And then the last site, the Kansas City Marathon. This site was neat because it has a countdown to the race, which we'd like to include on the Triple Bypass site. And it also has a current ticker of information. From there, we created a sitemap of our own, with a navigation menu similar to the other ones: the home, registration, course, rider info, benefit, and weekend information. We have the pertinent information under each of these tabs, and this helped us develop our wireframe that I'll show you in just a moment. The main criteria we wanted for the new website was a simple navigation bar. We wanted a prominent registration button, as we'll show you in just a moment. In the registration process, we created a workflow, as I said before, and this shows which steps a person would take when they're registering for the race. Will they register? Is the race full? And different steps they will take and different roadblocks they will come across, all the way until the end of picking up the packet and riding the race. Next, we wanted to add a countdown to ride day. We thought this was a great feature. And we wanted to incorporate social media, add a Facebook widget, add links to Twitter and Facebook, different things like that. And we wanted you to be able to find FAQs easily. Currently, after some research, we found the FAQs on the Triple Evergreen site. However, the logo on this page is from 2012, so we aren't sure if it's accurate. So the recommendations we came up with were to build a new site for the Triple Bypass organization using an established theme that is also responsive. And I'm going to show you what responsive means real quick here. When you go to the Elephant Rock site, if you access this from a different device, the site changes accordingly, so that if you access it from your phone, it's easy to find things. Next, we want to add writer stories and promotional videos, and we developed a place for each of these on the wireframe. We wanted to highlight the charitable aspects of the Triple Bypass. Right now, it's difficult to find where the money goes to and what charities they serve. Next, we wanted to reduce long explanations. Much of this information can be included in registration verification emails or as updated Facebook and Twitter entries. After the rider interviews and surveys, we found out that the cyclists want reliable and easily accessible information about registration information, road conditions, ride maps, aid station locations, accommodations, activities for non-riders and family members, transportation other than bicycles, and merchandise. And we've tried to incorporate all of these into our wireframe. And so here's our wireframe. So this would be the home page. At first glance, you can see that the register button is right there where you need it. The navigation bar is consistent through the pages. The course page shows maps right from the beginning. And then the rider info page that we built has a great deal of information. No one should have any trouble finding what they need. We created this benefits page to display the charitable activities that the ride accommodates. And then we also included a weekend page that will include activities for the family members. Also on the front page, the home page, we have a carousel of different sponsors and nonprofits. We have different writer stories. We have a place to upload your own story as a contest. And then we will have a Facebook widget incorporated on the home page. The countdown is right here at the top with the latest news. There's also a link to Team Evergreen. And then, of course, social media. And as you can see, you can click here to register, you can click here to register. On every page, you can get to the Register Now button. So this wireframe we built to include features that would make it easier for the user experience. Our hope is that if you build a new website and add the features that we researched and recommended that your site will be a user-friendly experience and will bring you many more riders in the future. Thank you.